What's up, y'all? It's Ty in this video. Today, we're going to be going over talking about the new Legends cards added to College Football 25 Ultimate Team. Obviously highlighted by your LTD here, Calvin Johnson, who is going to be the best wide receiver in the game right now. There's not going to be a wide receiver better than this card. We'll get to him. We'll talk about him. But we also got two other cards as well. So, how does this concept work? Well, basically, you get three different players. One's the LTD that gets the best card. You get two other players, but they get an 87 overall. They'll get an 88 overall. They'll get a 90. They'll get a 91. So they'll get a bunch of cards along the way. So everybody can basically pick them up. Budget guys, big ballers, everybody will be able to pick these cards up. Let's start off. Josh Hines-Allen. 83 speed, 87 acceleration, 88 finesse move at an 87 overall. The problem is, when you look at this card and playing the run game, he is not going to be great. You know, the 79 block shed is obviously not ideal. And so for me, when I'm looking at this 87 overall, I'm just not the biggest fan of him. He's fine, but I'm just not the biggest fan of the card. Quenton Nelson, 87 overall, 85 strength, solid pass blocker, decent enough run blocker. I don't hate this card at all. I think Quenton Nelson is going to be able to play at every overall. Thing for me is at the left guard position, I feel like we've got some budget guys. You know, if you're looking at that left guard position specifically, you know, you're going to have some other players at the 88, 89 overalls. I feel like when you get to the 92 overalls, that's when things get tough. But, you know, if you're looking at the left guard position, you've got Pregnant in an 89. You've got the Tyler Booker in the token market, the trophy market. Like, you've got some guys that can do some things. But 87 Quenton Nelson is fine. Next, we go to the 88s of these cards. Josh Hines-Allen's going to get a little bit better. And honestly, getting after the quarterback, this is a card that is way better than the 87. He's got 85 speed, 88 acceleration with an 89 power move. Yes, he is going to be able to get after the quarterback in a big time way. I am still a little worried about that block shed, but he is quite a bit better than the 87 overall. I still don't think he's probably going to be ultimately worth his price. But if, let's say, you get this card and can't sell him, he absolutely can play in this game. Next up, 88 overall, Quenton Nelson. And like I said, this is probably the start of a card that I'm like, okay, at the left guard position, you are just as good as maybe some of these 89s. Like, if you compare his stats to Pregnant stats, I think Quenton Nelson is just as good of a card, if not a better all-around left guard in the game. I think Quenton Nelson probably is the better overall player because, like, a Pregnant is not going to run block super well. So, good strength, really solid pass blocker, solid enough run blocker. I like Quenton Nelson in this game. I think at each and every overall, each and every tier, he is going to have some really solid cards. Next up, 89 overall, we got Josh Hines-Allen with an 86 speed, 86 acceleration, 81 block shed, solid finesse move. Again, just slightly getting better. This is a card that is going to get after the quarterback. The speed, acceleration, finesse move, that is where Josh Hines-Allen is going to be at his best. He's fine. Again, I don't like him as much as Quenton Nelson, but he's a fine card. 89 Quenton Nelson is a stud, guys. 87 strength, great pass blocker, but he's still a solid run blocker. And so if you are looking at the left guard position, I mean, yes, there are some solid left guards in the game, but especially at his peak, I think Quenton Nelson is going to be the best. Next up, 90 overalls for these cards. Josh Hines-Allen sees a little bit of an upgrade. 87 speed, 90 acceleration, 82 block shed. Again, just slightly getting better, but a 91 finesse move. This card's probably going to be 50,000 coins. Now, for 50,000 coins, do I love him at the right end position? I think he's fine. The problem is when Dylan Stewart is 50,000 coins, it's just not comparable. Dylan Stewart is better than this card. So that's the tough part. Like, Dylan Stewart basically is this card with a good block shed. So that's kind of the tough part for Josh Hines-Allen here is, I mean, Dylan Stewart is just the better option. But the card still is going to get after the quarterback. As far as playing the run, that's where I am a little bit worried. Quenton Nelson is just a beast. 89 strength, really solid pass blocker, really solid run blocker. Like, there's just no bad things I can say about Quenton Nelson at any of these overalls. The card is just a really solid option for you guys. Next, 92 overalls here. Let's start it with Josh Hines-Allen. Really solid speed, solid acceleration, solid finesse move. There is no flaws in this card outside of the block shed, guys. Again, wish the block shed was slightly better. But if you are looking at some of the best right ends in the entire game, the one thing this card has going for him is outside of James Pierce Jr. and Dylan Stewart. He's got, the highest speed. He's tied with Dylan Stewart as well. The acceleration is about as high as it gets at the right end position. He is going to get after the quarterback as well as anyone else. Honestly, this card reminds me pretty much of Arden Walker. So if you like Arden Walker, that's kind of who this card reminds me of. Where with both cards, I just wish their block shed rating was slightly higher, but they're fine and they can play at a solid enough level. 92 overall Quenton Nelson is going to be your best left guard in the game. I don't honestly even think it's remotely close. And you guys can say I'm gassing the card, but the other left guard is Michael Gonzalez. And I like Gonzalez, but it's not even remotely close. Quenton Nelson is your best left guard in the game by a wide margin. I mean, the way he can pass block, the way he can run block, and just do a combination of everything with the 91 strength, he is your best left guard in the game. Now, is he worth picking up? I don't know. Depends what price he goes for, considering Michael Gonzalez is super cheap. But just know, I like Quenton Nelson in this game. Last, but certainly not least, the moment we've been waiting for, the card that you guys have been waiting for me to go over, Calvin Johnson, Megatron in College Football 25 Ultimate Team. 93 overall, 93 speed, he's 6'5", 95 jump, so you can probably throw it up to him and he'll go get it. Great deep route runner, great mid, even short route running's fine. 95 catch is ridiculous. There's just 92 catch in traffic. There's just no flaws in the card. His juke move out in 84 still isn't even the worst. Like, it's not great, obviously, but it's still not the worst. Megatron is going to be a problem in this game. There is no questions asked. He is a card that I'm going to look to pick up today and hopefully can get you guys a gameplay, because this card is going to be the real deal in this game. The best wide receiver in the game. Now, I think we're probably a week or two out, probably a couple weeks from seeing an overall bump, so just kind of realize that. Be careful when it comes down to spending your coins or anything on Megatron. But I like the card, and he is a card that is going to probably, if I can get him for a decent price, play for me. Like, I really, really, really do like Megatron in this game. So that's kind of my thoughts on the new players. I don't hate any of them. I do think Quenton Nelson as well as Megatron are the two cards that I'm probably most looking forward to picking up for my squad. But at the end of the day, use who you guys want to, obviously. Like, have fun with your cards. We should see some of the older Legends cards go way down today with, obviously, Megatron coming out. People are going to be opening packs. It's just the way it is. So, prices, the auction house should be going down. It should be a good day for you guys to look up, or to pick up some of the new cards. Again, don't overspend for a guy like Megatron, but if you can get this card for relatively cheap, I think he's a solid guy to add to your squad. And you see Zachariah Branch for 420. That's a solid pickup as well. So if you are looking to help out looking for help at the wide receiver position, there are definitely options for you guys. So that's gonna wrap it up for my video, guys. Drop a like on it, subscribe if you're new, and as always, man, I love you guys. Have a blessed day.